up on our special holiday edition of Agweek TV. We'll take a look back at some of our favorite and our biggest stories over the past year, including a complicated battle over water rights between farmers and residents of a Minnesota reservation. What Mon Mom is doing about the serious shortage of childcare in rural areas, and a special program designed to ease the symptoms of Parkinson's disease, all too common among farmers. Welcome to our annual Agweek TV holiday special. I'm Emily Beal. We're at Superior Grade Equipment in Kindred, North Dakota, and we hope you're having a very Merry Christmas. Each year at this time, we take a look back at some of our favorite and most popular stories over the past year. This year, Agweek said goodbye to longtime reporter Mikkel Pates. He was one of the region's top ag journalists for some 40 years before heading off to retirement. But the good news is he's still doing a little bit of reporting for us. Mikkel, this story on an irrigation controversy drew you out of retirement.
That's right. It's a very complicated issue. Some farmers on Minnesota's White Earth Reservation are at the start of what promises to be a long and expensive legal battle over whether the White Earth Band of Ojibwe can legally require their own tribal water permits on private land on the reservation. Dave Vipond and his sons farm 1,200 acres, 800 of them on the White Earth Reservation. They started irrigating 3 years ago. He's seen how much more productive irrigated fields are. They want to irrigate another 320 acres on land adjoining the Wild Rice River. They applied for their riparian rights to water from the Minnesota DNR.
Then things got a little stickier.
The Minnesota DNR approved the permit, but after several weeks, the White Earth tribe notified Vipond that they'd set up their own separate permit system. He'd have to apply for that, too.
I think the tribe wants to stop all agriculture and regulate all agriculture on and around the reservation.
So now Vipond and a group of neighbors are preparing to challenge whether the White Earth Band can legally require their own tribal permits on private land, even in a 5-mile buffer belt around the reservation.
White Earth was always in good trust with the state, with our state partners.
Tribal Chairman Michael Fairbanks says that in recent years, the tribe felt that they were no longer being fully consulted by the DNR on permits and wanted to take even more stewardship of the land and water, especially in the large water quantities needed by ag. Fairbanks says the White Earth Band of Ojibwe is proactive in protecting the land and water, but they wanted to work with farmers.
That we're all trying to work together on a sustainable farming industry, agriculture, and that we just want to work together and make sure that our water's clean and that we're doing the good things.
Fairbanks says that they're especially concerned about dairy and hog operations that are standard throughout the country.
What's the catastrophic mess that they're going to have to clean up in due years?
While all parties think that the law is on their side, some believe this question may go to the U.S. Supreme Court.
I know this is a story you plan on following, and you'll update us along the way. Agweek covers a large geography throughout the upper Midwest. We have reporters stationed around the region who aren't able to be here today, but they bring us lots of great stories every week. In September, South Dakota-based Ariana Schumacher was among more than 20,000 people who gathered to watch 60 cowboys and cowgirls round up 1,500 bison. It was the 58th annual Buffalo Roundup at Custer State Park. From first-timers to old hands, the riders are excited to be a part about the roundup. But it's more than just fun. It's a tool for herd management in the park. The bison are brought to a corral for their yearly check, vaccinated, branded, and pregnancy checked. Some are auctioned off to bring the herd's numbers down for the winter. Noah Fish covers southeast Minnesota as well as Iowa and Wisconsin. That's where he traveled to bring us this colorful story about a unique crop, cranberries, and the unusual way they're harvested. The berries grow on vines in marshes. The beds are flooded, then the fruit is knocked off the vine and floats on the water until they're pumped out. Wisconsin is the world's largest cranberry growing region, harvesting 5 million barrels of cranberries this year. That's 60% of the nation's crop. Wisconsin and Minnesota can also boast another unique crop, gigantic pumpkins. Reporter Michael Johnson, who is based in west central Minnesota, met Charlie Bernstrom, the farmer who grew this giant pumpkin in Lancaster, Minnesota. The pumpkin measured 515 inches over the top and weighed 2,500 pounds, but fell short of a world record weight. Another Minnesotan, Travis Ginger of Anoka, Minnesota, did grow the world's record heaviest pumpkin with a 2,749-pound giant. Reporter Ann Bailey lives in northeast North Dakota. She met the owners of a small farm near Grafton, who've developed a big business on just a few acres. In 2018, the Unruh family started growing mums on the land where they already have an orchard, and the mum business has really taken off since then. The Unruh family grows 10,000 of the fall flowers every year at Oxbow Orchards. Trevin Unruh says people love coming out and picking the perfect mum, but most of their crop is sold at grocery and specialty stores all over the region between August and October. They also have a large apple orchard. You'll also find their own pumpkins, honey, and maple syrup.
So yeah, it's a good life, but it's work.
Coming up on this special holiday edition of Agweek TV, how one mom deals with the challenge of rural child care shortages.
Integrity, excellence, teamwork. At Titan Machinery, we take care of our team. Whether you are an experienced technician or looking to start your career, Titan has a spot for you. Earn a competitive pay with the potential to make in excess of 6 figures. Service techs, come grow with a company that invests in you. Titan Machinery offers company HSA and 401k contributions, free single healthcare, and a generous tool allowance. Plus, we'll provide all of your uniform and safety gear. Apply today at titanmachinery.com/careers.
When it comes to grain storage and handling solutions, one call does it all. Gateway Building Systems is one of the largest Brock bin dealers in the U.S. Our expert team is dedicated to creating a customized plan for your future success. Expanding your operation has never been easier with our range of Brock solid bins, grain dryers, conveyors, and more. As your trusted partner, we are committed to serving the needs of farmers. Take the first step toward success and call Gateway Building Systems today.
It was October 1st, 2009. We needed some machinery for the farm. We decided to see if we could become a dealer, and that's kind of grown into what it's been today.
We offer basically anything short line. Seed tenders, fertilizer spreaders, sprayers. We can really set ourselves apart by the knowledge we have in those things, by the amount of units we have on hand at all times.
I just have a passion for helping people, getting to know people. It just becomes a lot of fun.
North Dakota Farmers Union is hosting the Evolution Ag Summit on Tuesday, February 20th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the NDFU headquarters in Jamestown. This is a one-day event focused on the value of implementing carbon sequestration practices on North Dakota farms and ranches. Topics will include industry perspectives, agronomics and economics of soil carbon sequestration incentives, and a farmer-rancher perspective panel. Register online at ndfu.org/evolutionag.
A farmer's work is never done. You're not just planting a seed or harvesting a crop. You're growing a legacy. When you're up before dawn and out long past dusk, you need a banker who will work with your schedule, not the other way around. At Choice, we do banking differently, giving farmers like you time back to focus on what really matters. Choice Bank, top North Dakota ag bank for 10 years running, and always people first.
From Superior Grain Equipment in Kindred, North Dakota, this is our holiday Best Of edition of Agweek TV. A severe shortage of childcare, especially in rural areas, continues to be an issue. Katie Pinky visited Little Buckaroos in Kindred, North Dakota, where one mom took an unusual approach to solving her daycare problem.
That's right. When Jenna Beartness had her third child, she had trouble finding childcare, so she quit her job and started working in a daycare.
So in fall of 2022, I had Ruth.
Jenna Beartness, like many women, balances being a wife and a mother and having a career. Beartness attended North Dakota State University, where she majored in animal science. She received her bachelor's and master's before diving headfirst into the ag industry, first with Cargill, then with the Northern Crops Institute, until she joined the North Dakota Soybean Council as the Director of Market Development.
We had our first child. He's now 6, so we had him in 2017. And back then it was a different story. We moved to Kindred. There were 2 centers. They were home daycares, and they were essentially all had availabilities. We actually could choose our daycare, which is just not something you hear now. It started to get a little more challenging with our second, but getting her into the same daycare was no problem.
But that ease stopped when Beartness had her third child, Ruth. North Dakota Soybean Council Executive Director Stephanie Sinner mobilized to use the state's Infant at Work program to allow Beartness to bring Ruth with her when she needed, when Beartness couldn't find childcare.
I brought Ruth to work with me. Ruth learned a lot about soybean markets.
But even with workplace support, Beartness knew something needed to change.
You know, we can either complain about the problem or we can talk about how we can become part of the solution.
Jenna is now transitioning to become a part-time daycare employee.
I love the agriculture industry. It's why we live here. It's why I came to North Dakota for my education originally, and I really didn't want to walk away from that.
Beartness is now part-time at the Soybean Council as an ag marketing specialist and working at Little Buckaroos 2 days a week to ensure her children can go to daycare. Beartness's part-time position is helping the daycare combat staffing shortages.
The town can't grow without a new daycare, so we built the daycare.
Tammy Erickson has owned Little Buckaroos since 2009. The daycare has grown through the years from taking 75 kids in 2008 to 152 in 3 buildings in early May. Little Buckaroos has a higher capacity than it's now serving, but it's at its limit due to staffing.
Owning the daycare and having the business short staff has been really a heartache. First of all, I have to turn people away now, and I've never had to do that. We've had room for people. And in late January, I had to cut families to accommodate the staff that I had.
Jenna continues to work for the North Dakota Soybean Council and now works for the daycare on an on-call basis as needed. But she says childcare continues to be a big problem in her community, like many others around the region.
Thanks, Katie. It sure is a big problem. Coming up on Agweek TV, as we continue our holiday look back at the past year, one livestock company takes their cattle auctions high-tech.
Risk management is not just for the grains. Livestock producers, did you know you too can protect the price for your production? Livestock Risk Protection, or LRP for short, is a great tool to help you protect the price of your calves. Cattle producers can also protect their pasture and hayland from lack of rainfall with Pasture Rangeland Forage, or PRF insurance. This is a very affordable way to help producers in times of below average rainfall. Call the Risk Management Specialist, Martinson Ag Risk Management.
Getting down to business on the farm means hitting the office early, making sure your team's ready to go, getting updates from the field, and talking with your management team. At Brimmer Bank, we understand the business of farming and how to protect and grow your operation so you can be sure your present and your future are in good hands.
Hi, Bill Kelsey here, Geringhoff Territory Manager, covering northern Minnesota and the Dakotas. At Geringhoff, we offer a full line of the best harvest headers and residue management systems on the market.
Contact me today to discuss your farm's needs. From there, I'll connect you with an authorized Geringhoff dealer.
The story of a farm is the story of a family. From generations past to generations to come, families have raised their children on the crops that sustain our country on the same fields. Today, with a better nitrogen, farmers can continue to take care of what matters most, the land they work and the people they do it with.
From Superior Grain Equipment in Kindred, North Dakota, you're watching our holiday best of edition of Agweek TV. A ranch in western North Dakota is taking a new approach to their annual sale. Jenny Schleck traveled to Richardson to find out more.
Technology has become a very big part of farming and ranching, and now one ranch is using it for the time-honored tradition of the bull sale.
We kind of try to raise an all-around product with our Red Angus.
Forster Red Angus Ranch has been in the Red Angus business for over 55 years. But this year, they're trying something different with an all-online sale.
We thought it would be more convenient and stress less for the buyer and for us actually as a seller. We don't have to haul the bulls to a sale barn and back because we tend to injure some of them doing that.
Unpredictable winter weather also played a factor in going online for their auction. But Forster Red Angus has a long history of being willing to change. In 2004, they moved to a late calving date after a tough season had every calf going into the warmer box.
We have way less calving issues, healthier calves just for being out on the pasture. Basically, come fall time, it's kind of survival of the fittest who comes in the fall. And we believe that'll give a lot tougher, longer lasting breeding bull for our clients.
Forster says reaction to moving his sale online has been way better than expected, with many customers excited about the flexibility it offers. The online sale will run for 6 days, starting February 14th. All 85 coming 2-year-old bull lots will close on the final day.
And so they'll be able to pick their time where it works in their schedule to come and look at the bulls, and then they can go back home and place a bid on them.
Kenny Forster says the 2023 sale went well, and he's looking forward to another online sale this spring.
Thanks, Jenny. Still ahead as we continue this holiday edition of Agweek TV. Farmers have a higher than average rate of Parkinson's disease. We'll visit a unique program offering help.
Some things in life are hard. That's why banking shouldn't be. Cornerstone Bank.
Farming the land carries a lot of responsibilities. You plan and forecast the acres. You plant the crops. You spray the crops. You pray over the crops for good weather and moisture. And you harvest the crops that are long awaited. Erickson Custom Operations would like to wish you a Merry Christmas and a blessed New Year.
Attention farmers, increase your revenue and prevent compaction from squeezing your profits with PTG's Central Tire Inflation System, now offered at OK Tire and Service. All controlled from the tips of your fingers, ensuring increased yield and improved fuel economy by adjusting your tire pressure within minutes. You are ensuring the best performance from your tractor on the field and off the field, compatible with any radial tire. Call the OK Tire team today or visit oktireinc.com to learn more.
It was October 1st, 2009. We needed some machinery for the farm. We decided to see if we could become a dealer, and that's kind of grown into what it's been today.
We offer basically anything short line. Seed tenders, fertilizer spreaders, sprayers. We can really set ourselves apart by the knowledge we have in those things, by the amount of units we have on hand at all times.
I just have a passion for helping people, getting to know people. It just becomes a lot of fun.
Welcome back to Superior Grain Equipment in Kindred, North Dakota for our holiday best of edition of Agweek TV. Farmers have a higher rate of Parkinson's disease than the rest of the population. Rose Dunn found a program in Fargo designed to help farmers and others manage their symptoms holistically.
Scientists are not only trying to figure out what causes Parkinson's, but why farmers are affected at a higher rate. Research indicates exposure to some farm chemicals, stress, and genetics all contribute. And at Heart Springs Healing Center, they're using a variety of ways to ease the symptoms. John Everett comes to the Heart Springs Healing Center in North Fargo about once a week to get relief from his Parkinson's symptoms. Today, it's a Tai Chi Cha class. He first noticed symptoms about 6 years ago.
While walking across the farmyard, I noticed my hands tremble.
Everett has been retired from farming for 25 years, but research shows it could be at least part of the reason he developed the neurological disease. In addition to tremors, Parkinson's can cause stiff muscles, slowed movement, and impaired balance. So along with traditional medicine, Everett says he gets relief from his symptoms at Heart Springs. It includes therapy and other holistic practices, including exercise and a healthy diet.
Oh yes, I think it's a great part. The best thing about it is just to be with other people that have Parkinson's. You get, it's helpful to have somebody else to share experience with.
Jen Nelson is an occupational therapist who founded Heart Springs about 15 years ago when she saw the need to integrate therapies. In addition to Parkinson's, they serve people with a wide range of physical and mental health issues. Over the years, she's developed programs using the most effective methods.
Our goal is to teach you how to use your body in ways that's helpful for your nervous system, that's helpful in calming your symptoms. We want to teach you about nutrition and what are the right foods to eat and what ones are inflammatory that put your body into stress. We want to teach you about your thoughts and thinking. How can you quiet again your body through meditation and other forms? So we want to give you great hope.
Barbara Eden is a physical therapist who leads this Tai Chi Cha class. She says the sooner someone diagnosed with Parkinson's seeks treatment, the more effective it will be.
I think so often people are very overwhelmed when they're initially diagnosed. At Heart Springs, we really are all about hope and healing.
Heart Springs held a retreat for people with Parkinson's in September, and Jan Nelson says it went so well they're planning to hold them at least once a year. In fact, here are two self-portraits one of the participants drew of himself before and after the retreat. They're also adding a Parkinson's book club and are working on some other new therapies for patients.
Thanks, Rose. It really is a great program.
It sure is.
Still ahead on this holiday edition of Agweek TV, we'll visit a dairy that's been taking pride in its products for nearly 100 years.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
Integrity, excellence, teamwork. At Titan Machinery, we take care of our team. Whether you are an experienced technician or looking to start your career, Titan has a spot for you. Earn a competitive pay with the potential to make in excess of 6 figures. Service techs, come grow with a company that invests in you. Titan Machinery offers company HSA and 401k contributions, free single healthcare, and a generous tool allowance. Plus, we'll provide all of your uniform and safety gear. Apply today at titanmachinery.com/careers.
When it comes to grain storage and handling solutions, one call does it all. Gateway Building Systems is one of the largest Brock bin dealers in the U.S. Our expert team is dedicated to creating a customized plan for your future success. Expanding your operation has never been easier with our range of Brock solid bins, grain dryers, conveyors, and more. As your trusted partner, we are committed to serving the needs of farmers. Take the first step toward success and call Gateway Building Systems today.
Getting down to business on the farm means hitting the office early, making sure your team's ready to go, getting updates from the field, and talking with your management team. At Brimmer Bank, we understand the business of farming and how to protect and grow your operation, so you can be sure you're present and your future are in good hands.
Grain handling and storage projects done efficient, reliable, and hassle-free. With the one-stop shop of advanced grain handling systems. Get better test weights and less crop damage with their continuous mixed-flow grain dryers from Grain Handler and Nico. Get grain bins built to last from West Steel and Sioux Steel. Advanced Grain customizes each project to maximize your farm production. Contact Advanced Grain Handling Systems in Mayville for a free quote and site consultation.
From Superior Grain Equipment in Kindred, North Dakota, you're watching our holiday best of edition of Agweek TV. Almost everyone loves ice cream, especially when it's made with fresh, local ingredients. The small town of Bottineau in far north central North Dakota is home to Pride Dairy, where they've taken pride in their dairy products for nearly 100 years.
Our sole focus now is Pride Dairy.
Chris Allard and his wife Tanya bought Pride Dairy in 2018. The dairy has a rich history, first opening its doors in Bottineau, North Dakota in 1930. Pride Dairy began as a co-op in the 30s, where local farmers brought in their excess cream. But in 1950, with the help of refrigeration, Pride Dairy set its sights on producing ice cream along with its other dairy products, and never looked back. For Allard, keeping the business in the same building it began almost a century ago and in the Bottineau community was important.
That's how I was born and raised, is in a small town in Nebraska, so I know the value of how the community all comes together and supports one another. And it's not just this community, it's a state. The state of North Dakota is big on manufacturing and products that are made within the state, so that was just a small part of why we wanted to get into this business.
Sourcing milk locally can greatly help a rural community's economy. Jim Sulfur, University of Minnesota Extension educator, urges people and businesses to support local farmers.
So I think it is really important to keep those buy locally and help keep those small farms in business. There's just this tremendous consolidation going on. And I think one thing we can do is if we buy locally, it helps support the price locally a lot because of transportation. And that really can help our local communities.
We try to source as much as we can locally throughout the state. Dairy farms, it's getting fewer and far between. We do what we can to source as much locally with our trove cherries, our June berries, and as much of the dairy products we can.
While Allard has done everything he can to honor and preserve the history of Pride Dairy, he is excited for a new venture within the business.
You'll see here in the next couple of weeks our new line of pints and ice cream sandwiches. It's under the O line, and we wanted to come up with a name that tied to the Midwest roots, and we tend to use that term a lot. And when we found out when we were sampling, that was usually the first thing that came out of somebody's mouth was, oh.
Pride Dairy's new line O has officially been released and people are loving it. We appreciate you watching this special holiday edition of Agweek TV. We'd again like to thank Superior Grain Equipment for hosting us. As we say goodbye, we hope you'll enjoy some Agweek TV bloopers. Merry Christmas, everyone. Affiliated with the Episcopal.
All right, I'm still super short. It's edible bean. Dry beans. Sorry, I've always said edible.
Important one to tell about. I'm actually in the middle of recording this week's show. Can I call you back in like 10 minutes?
Around the region.
Thanks, Kitty.
Perhaps
Just can't get over that I look like I'm going to land on the moon.
Take away everything good in my life.